Hi, and welcome to The Way Out Tarot. Welcome back if you've been here before. This will be your timeless general read for wherever you have Gemini in your chart. Apologies for the delay. Don't really have an excuse. I've just been living my best life. Okay, the energy is pretty good. I feel like you can relate. So let's see, what do I have for you? Do I have any announcements? I've decided for the extended, we'll do an extended if the read warrants one, but there won't be a guaranteed extended after each video. Sometimes there's not much more that needs to be said. I feel like that's triggering for one or two of you, maybe more. So yeah, there's like beating a dead horse energy, and if you're not familiar with that turn of phrase, if the horse is already dead, if you continue to beat it, it's a pointless act. Also a bit gruesome and cruel, but as I mentioned, it's a turn of phrase, just a saying. Are you going to continue to try to breathe life into something? Are you going to continue to drive a point home? Continue to try to have a conversation with someone? Continue to try on something that has been decided. Something about letterhead. The good life. The chariot in the overall for you. Yes. It is about the good life indeed. It's about the life you want to live, the life you have, the life you want to lead. They say that the life you have is a culmination of the decisions that you've made leading up to this point. We would like to believe, and we would like to believe that all of the decisions that we've made, that we can be proud of them, that we can stand by them, and if the life you have now is a culmination of the decisions that you've made up to this point, how you feel about your life right now says a lot about those decisions that you have made. How you will feel about your life, the kind of life you'll have, the choices you make right now have the potential to determine all of that. 10 of Swords. But what about the times where the things that the choices you made, the paths you set down, what about those times where the thing didn't work out, not because you chose wrong or because you were doing the wrong thing, but because you were betrayed? Because of circumstances that maybe you feel are out of your control, uncontrollable, unpredictable variables. Potentially someone's mood swings, or their moods. like it fucks with the status quo. It throws a wrench in the plans. To the point where you have to start over. Or feel like you must start over. Do you have the kind of life where if you had the choice of whether or not you wanted to live it again, would you? Could you? If the answer to that question is no, then there are some things that you need to start doing differently. There are some things that you need to change. The Sun card coming out in reverse, yes, is telling us that this is about that light that you shine within. You're not going to get the outcome that you want by focusing on the externality. It's about looking within. The Seven of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Pentacles. There is some boundaries work that needs to be done here. There is some work that needs to be done with vulnerability. It's like there's some things that, there are some opportunities that you're not going to be able to avail, maybe because it's more than you're not allowing yourself to have them. It's different than it's different than that. It's deeper than that. Do you even feel like you deserve them? Truly. Do you even feel like you are worthy of them? If you want to know what I think that you talk yourself out of them. I think that you think about them to the point that you find something wrong with those opportunities, or you find something wrong with yourself that makes it seem like it can't work out. And I think that when you lose that argument with yourself, or when you find the smoking gun, when you find that thing that you've been looking for that discourages you, you lose the battle of wills. So how do we remedy that? Where do we go from here? I like to think that in the spirit of growth, we all have to do that one thing that we fear the most, or maybe goes against everything that it's not that it goes against everything that we believe in. It's just it's a concept that is otherworldly to us. It's something that is vastly different from what we have subscribed to. And I'm thinking about Virgos and this fixation that they have on perfection and addiction that some of them have to control when we're talking about how something unfolds. This is a sign that is devoted to the aesthetic, and you guys have that in common. That kind of superficiality, however, is a menace to I want to say compassion is what's coming through, but the question then becomes compassion for who, or whom I should say, or compassion for what? It's like for a Virgo getting a little bit dirty or feeling okay or accepting certain flaws or imperfections is a sign of maturity. And I'm talking a lot about Virgo, but you're both Mercury ruled, so I am talking about you. They are mutable earth, and you are mutable air. You both can be unrelenting when you're ready. This is you and someone else that's coming to mind. You both can be pretty unrelenting when you're ready. You both can be pretty unyielding, unwilling to give in. Believing that your understanding or your solution is the one that will be the most suitable. So getting eligible bachelor is coming through. Yeah, someone here is fine. I love the color scheme in these cards. That's why I'm keeping it simple this month. Speaking of aesthetic, it's giving October. It's giving Halloween. It's giving Skeletor. So December 4th could be important, or April 12th. Let's talk about what's here. So we have, hold on. Let me get a bit more comfortable. Okay, so we start off with the Chariot over here. And the Chariot for me, card number 7 in the major arcana, this does in fact represent your life path. It's about the direction that your life takes, and there are some you want to make up your mind about that maybe around this time. You have to choose. You want to choose. It's one of those. And what it looks like you're choosing here, or what it looks like you're making a decision on, what the focal point is about the closing out of some type of chapter. It's about the dressing or the medicine that some kind of wound needs. There's something here that you want to wrap up, that you want to heal finally, that you want to start over with, that you want to move on from once and for all. Wanting to move away from all that has been painful and step into everything new, everything abundant, everything good. It's about the new life that you want to have. Now, there is something that must change within you, as we were saying, and I just want to expand on that a bit because I think that it's a bit vague. There is the limit to what you can have, to what you can attain, or that limit is what you perceive it to be. There is something here where your willpower, your effort is directly tied to it, and what you're going to get out of it is exactly what you put into it. If you do not feel like you have the energy to go on, if you do not feel like you have the energy to pour into it, the cards are telling us that it's going to be very difficult to tell you that it is going to thrive. We see beautiful gardens, abundant gardens overflowing with vegetables. I'm also hearing barges. I'm not entirely sure what. I know a barge is a real thing, but I digress. Look that one up. But so, as I was saying, we see beautiful, abundant gardens is what I'm envisioning here. But you know, a lot of times there's a lot of work that goes behind that. It's planting these plants with these same with this set of plants or crops, planting these vegetables next to these vegetables so that they thrive. There is an art to it. There is an aesthetic, I would say, to gardening, where seeing a seed that you've planted flourish, there is a lot that it takes. It takes care to create life, to bring forth, to flourish. So there's something here that requires that elbow grease from you. And it looks like what you must work on is your will. What you must work on is your motivation, is the drive that you once had for it. Maybe you're trying to get that drive back. Maybe you're trying to psych yourself up to have some kind of difficult conversation. It's that moment before you swallow the bitter medicine, where you're preparing yourself for what you're about to endure, the uncomfortability of that brief moment, or of a moment that you put up with, that you accept, that you take, because of the promise that it'll be what your body needs. To sustain itself. So it's that first step, right? And I think that it has been the source of many arguments, and it will be the source of many arguments the longer that we go without diagnosing it, the longer we go without recognizing it, the longer that that wound is untreated. There are some who have been waiting for you to realize this. There are some who have been waiting for you to be ready, who have been waiting for you to break these shackles that you've placed on yourself and escape from this prison that you have constructed for yourself. The image and the book, I believe it's written by Maya Angelou. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, but there's a particular image that's coming to mind of an artwork for that book. I think there have been more than one, but the one that comes to mind is of a bird in a cage, and the cage door is open, but the bird is still in the cage. Uncage yourself. That's what I think the escape card is about, even without looking at the meaning of it in the book. Big Aries energy in the read. You could be dealing with an Aries, or this is just about the uninhibited nature to your energy or bravery that is required of you around this time. We're about to move into Scorpio season, and I think that this Mars energy is really going to make you want to act on your emotions, act on the things that you know need to change, and do the things that you know you need to do to get the things that you want. It's like you're getting this infusion of passion and drive when you need it the most. But it's like you kind of have to decide what you want to put all that drive behind. This goes back to how you want your future to look, how you want your life to look. For some of you, you might feel like your effort is uneven. And I'll be honest with you, I that's something that I can definitely relate to. I get so much joy out of doing these readings, but I sometimes I feel like my effort is a little bit uneven, and I'm a human being. I'm a real person. I don't know where that is coming from. I feel like someone is screaming that right now. I'm a human being with feelings. But yeah, I feel like at times my effort is a bit uneven, but I do think that I have a calling, and I would liken it to working out, which I do a lot. You know, a lot of times I dread going to the gym. I don't have the energy, but it's like when I get there, you know, I'm off to the races. And that's how I feel about these reads sometimes. So I say all that to say that you're not alone in this. You are a human being, you are real, and you have feelings, and it is okay that your effort is a bit uneven. It's okay for the things that you want to change from time to time, but you know, we're not living in a vacuum. There are people living with us that we're involved with, that you are surrounded by, that want you to look them in the eye when you're talking to them, or when they're talking to you, that want you to acknowledge them, that want you to understand, and that want you to talk to them without making it an argument. This is not about me blaming you. It's just it's important to know the difference when someone is approaching you, right? When they have something to say. If you see confrontation as an argument, then it will, if you see every type of confrontation or serious conversation that someone has to have with you as an argument, then you won't get very far in terms of relationship building. But if instead you are emotionally mature and emotionally intelligent and you identify with these parts of yourself, it creates that opening for compassion. And maybe that's where that was coming from, where you ask questions to seek to understand, rather than allowing how someone is approaching you or the things that some people are saying to make certain topics intractable or make you feel like you can't talk about them. Because you can. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. So Shaka Khan is significant here. I love Shaka. Love Shaka. She can be a bit, mean at times, but all divas are, or they're at least perceived that way. Yeah, let's pull some of these for you. Okay, that is plenty. Trust issues at the bottom of the deck. This could very well be about an ex. How do you do the things that you do? Call me. Text me. And the conversation card is there. Yeah, so the energy is here for communication strong. But I do there's fear, there's apprehension here. But this can end if you want it to. November. Admiration. North. South. Travel could be involved here, from north to south or south to north. Pisces. Brown eyes. August. So fall is very significant. I feel like fall into winter is when you're coming alive, when you're coming out of hiding, coming out of isolation, becoming a bit more sociable, more communicative, more willing. This was your read. I'll see you in the next one. I hope, if you'd like to join me on this journey. If you got all that you needed from a tarot read, then hey, I look forward to seeing you the next time you're looking for a reading. All the reads are timeless, even the ones that have a date on them, because on the channel I used to do monthly reads and put the month that the read was for, but it's all energy. And when it comes to certain topics that we're talking about, it could really apply at any given time. And I just really want to stress that I don't say that because I want you to watch more videos. It's not about that. It's that I really do I really do think about the messages that I want to convey here. And I know that a lot of these messages have a deeper meaning, and I know that they're going to mean something different to everyone who comes across them. Um, so that it's for that reason that I encourage you to take a look at some of the other titles, and if it's at all relevant to your life and what you are experiencing now, that I'm confident that it will add to your life. And if you watch it with an open mind, if you don't get too caught up in the signs, because we all have all 12 zodiac signs in our chart, and people say that all the time. It's because, you know, really, I think there are quite a few who don't realize that. Maybe they just only identify with their own. I think it's maybe because we are in some ways fascinated or obsessed with facts about ourselves, and in the essence of or building an identity, we form a very deep bond with our sun sign or our moon sign or our rising, but we're so much more than that. I love our little talks. I'll see you in the next one.